Hello and welcome to this midweek message here at Salem Lutheran Church in West St. Paul. I'm Pastor Aaron Holmgren, and today is February 7th. Coming up this Sunday, we have our Faith Formation Sunday School after worship for the young at heart and young in person kiddos in our midst, and that's going to be this Sunday and the 25th. In between those times, we have a winter warm up gathering for families with young kids between the ages of 3 and third grade, I think is. But it's really just a time for families to come together in our fellowship hall and to have some fun. There's going to be floor games and a bouncy house and just an opportunity for kids to meet each other and play, and for parents to meet each other, and for guardians to gather and just um, have some time of fellowship during these winter months. Even though it doesn't feel like winter, uh, the winter warm up event is February 24th, and that's going to be from 9:30 to 11:30 in the fellowship hall. Um, so those kind of cover our kids' activities for this month. We have the two Faith Formation Sundays and then the winter warm up. For our older members, the Owls is gathering on February 13th, and they're going to have a speaker from the Red Cross come in and talk about donating blood from the moment it comes out of your arm to where it goes. So that should be a really interesting perspective on the journey and the need behind this gift that we can give in donations. So that's going to be February 13th, and all are welcome to attend that. If you're in the neighborhood and you're over 55, that's what Owls is all about. That's going to be February 13th in the fellowship hall, starting at 1, I think. The next day, February 14th, is Ash Wednesday, and that starts our season of Lent together. And Ash Wednesday is that time where we acknowledge our sin and the aspect of death within everyone's lives, and we turn to God. We turn to God to find that promise of forgiveness and salvation and new life. And so Ash Wednesday is really that pivot point where we intentionally move towards the cross and the resurrection. So that's what that season brings us towards, that Holy Week of Good Friday and Easter morning. So uh, the Sunday before that, though, is always Transfiguration Sunday. And Transfiguration Sunday is the kind of the end of the season after Epiphany, as we've been exploring the manifestation of God's power in the person of Jesus Christ. We hear the words of God spoken to the three disciples on the mountaintop as Jesus is a dazzling brightness, and they're the same words that Jesus heard during his baptism. So they kind of bookend this season after Epiphany. But what God adds to this message in the Transfiguration is this is my son, the beloved. Listen to him. So before, at the baptism, God was just saying, "You are my son, the beloved, in whom I am well pleased." This time, speaking to the disciples, the command or the request, the ask of God is listen to him. And so we're going to be carrying that theme into the season of Lent this year. We're going to be listening to God through our faith stories. I'm really excited about this series that we're going to explore during our Lenten evening events. And it's all about pursuing that request that God has said, "This is my son, the beloved. Listen to him." So we're going to follow that question of how do we listen to this God who is calling us, inviting us, and offering forgiveness and comfort and joy. And so um, I'm excited for that, and I hope you are too. And that will kind of kick off at well, really this Sunday, but then the theme will take flight at Ash Wednesday and on. So that is kind of um, the reflection I wanted to lift up today is the question, how are we listening to God? And if that kind of stumps you right now, that's exactly what this series in Lent is going to be all about. So, um, and I encourage you to engage in these worship opportunities to gather with us in fellowship and fun, and with food as well as we start serving our Lenten suppers. So that's all happening here in February. And until I see you, blessings on your day.